Today we're going to go over a snorkel install on a brand new 2023 Yamaha Wolverine. We are using the Highlifter snorkel kit. First impressions, not bad. Pictures are kind of blurry, which sucks a little, but instructions seem to be fairly straightforward. All the pipes have everything all laid out. Comes with lots of extra hose to extend vent lines. Got all your Warrior risers here. Just kind of going through and dry fitting everything. Like up here, so we got the air box up front. We got the intake off here to the side. And this kit actually doubles up your intake. So I do have it over there on the bench. So there'll be an intake off to the left, or off to the right of the machine, going up the A-pillar, I guess you would call it. And then you actually drill a secondary hole in the airbox lid so that you can have a second inlet to your airbox, which goes up the other A-pillar. We're just still dry fitting everything. Got the machine half torn apart, hood off, fender off. Doors so far can stay on. And we have pretty much have to take both seats out if you want to make it a little easier on yourself. Console pops right off. The stock fittings, or sorry, ducting off of the inlet and the exhaust of the CVT will go up and under. So you do need to take the console off no matter what and remove the dash piece so you can pull them out. Side fender, once again, need to remove. So that'll be your CVT exhaust. You got a CVT inlet right behind that wire there. It's kind of hard to see, it's a little dark. And then there's another one on top right there. So this kit also, I believe it tees the exhaust of the CVT and the inlet together up here. So they got one pipe coming out here, and then I believe the other one comes up back here. I still gotta lay everything out, but first impressions of this machine are it's pretty fancy. So here's the here's all the OEM piping. They're quite large. They take up a crap load of room. You open up a lot of room in the center console once you have all these pipes out, which is nice because if you want to put in auxiliary switches or whatever right beside your shifter, it should be pretty easy. And yeah, we'll cut back to once I have everything all dry fit, then we'll cut to that and then we can start install. All right, so we finally got everything all dry run. So there's what the intake pipe on the left side would look like. Comes through back here. That goes through right up there. Fits pretty nice. There's just enough room to get everything through. Same with this side. And comes up the pillar here. The risers sit really high, but it doesn't look too bad because it tucks under the roof, which is nice. And then we have, we got to run some vent lines up the aft snorkels here. So we'll tee these two together. We got to trim them still, but I'm just kind of getting a general idea of what's happening. And then back here was a bit of a guessing game because it wasn't 100% clear on, there wasn't enough of the same fittings in the kit, so we kind of just had to make it work. So we're gonna have to shorten the left one, which that's not a big deal because those risers are a foot tall anyway, so it'll still sit up fairly high. We'll come around this side so we can see how we run the CVT. So we got one, there's a bar right in here, so that just loops around. Oh, come on, focus. And then up, you can see the great big boot there. That's just exhaust that goes straight up through. That's the one on the inside. So yeah, that comes up and then it goes to that T-fitting. It's undone right now. But then so on the on the inside of the machine there, it dives in behind, comes in, goes to this boot on top. It's a bit of a pain in the ass because there's not enough room between the top of the boot and this air box. So it's gonna sit a little crooked, but I guess once the clamps tighten some silicones on it, that's okay. So it'll run back there. And then the holes they tell you to drill. So this one, the measurement's right, but this one, if I followed their instruction, the hole would be over further, which would be a bit of a pain in the ass because it would hit this. I mean, unless I'm reading it wrong, but I doubt it. So yeah, it'll come up there, and then the riser is actually hooked together, so they'll sit nice and tight. It comes with a bunch of white zip ties, which most people it wouldn't matter, but I'm obviously going to use black ones because I think the white would look kind of stupid and stand out. Yeah, and then we'll just run the vent lines up one of these, or both, up to the top. And yeah, it's coming together. It's a good amount of work. It's not that hard. It just takes some time, because you don't want to rush this crap. I did end up, because we pretty much were done installing everything, we just got to pull it apart and then PVC it together. I never used all the fittings they gave me. Now, I don't see where they would go, considering I have everything run as nice as I would have liked. For uniformity, I would have liked another nice smooth 45 here, but those work too. But yeah, so we have a 90 left over, little 22, and well, that adapter goes to the riser on the other side. Yeah. So we just got to finish up siliconing. Another thing that's kind of a pain is on the inside of the air box, there's some kind of standoffs that hold the air filter down. Well, they want you to put a lock ring on the threads of this, but in order to do that, you gotta cut all of the material out of the inside, which I don't know if I want to do that. That's a lot of cutting. So I think what will end up happening is I'll just silicone the crap out of it, because once it's on there, I mean, the hood, I don't think it's gonna come down at all. Or come up, sorry. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see, but pretty nice kit. I don't mind it. It's pretty much has everything you need. Yeah. So that's kind of the overview. And then that's basically the finished product. Once I'm all done with everything glued up, I'll just take a final little clip where all the plastics are back on, seats are in and all that, and so we can see what she looks like all finished up. But so far so good. I like the way those tuck up. They look nice and uniform, which is cool. Well, and then this is my buddy side-by-side, so he's going to be putting a windshield on it. So I hope that these are tucked back far enough for a windshield. I did see one video online quick that Buddy had a windshield on, but he couldn't use the clips or something around the bars. So we'll see. But yeah, it's looks pretty good. Here we go. Finished product. It's a nice color machine. Yeah, I frickin' stripped out a bolt or a nut on the bracket back here, so I gotta either replace it or weld a new nut on, but we'll get there. So yeah, those babies go up the side, really nice and solid. The instructions say to zip tie them to the frame or to the roll cage here. What I did is I zip tied them up top, since these aren't being used anyway. Zip tied them to the cage so that they're up and hidden. Same with that side. And here's the finished product back there. 3 of the vent lines are actually functional, but one's just for show to make it look a little better. Console still opens most of the way, which is convenient. Yeah, so they look pretty good. A little bit of a lean to the right, but so be it. There's not really a good place to anchor them, so they just get zip tied back there. And the kit also comes with screens for in here, but you gotta silicone the screens in and stuff. I'll let the owner do that. He can change it how he likes, if he wants to paint them blue or something. And here's all the stock stuff that came off. Intake boot, CVT, ducting. This is off that back, that really big boot at the back. And that's that. And yeah, a couple hose clamps left over. But it fits in pretty nice. Looks good. Maybe if one were a little crazy, you'd, since there are anchor nuts here already, build a bracket that comes up and anchors these two more solid and then bolts back down. But that's getting pretty creative. But yeah, there's the finished product. Looks pretty good. All right, thanks for watching, guys.